Our region's business is sponsored by PNC for the achiever in you.
Diners across the country are avoiding long lines and long waits thanks to an app from our region. It's called NoWait, and it pretty much replaces the pen and paper waiting list at the reception desk at many casual restaurants. Robb Myer is President and Chief Product Officer of NoWait. Welcome. Good to have you here.
Thanks, Bill. It's nice to see you again.
Yeah, so this is, one would think, a sort of intuitive, I guess. The pen and paper have worked for decades, I guess. What made you think there might be an app in there somewhere?
Well, it's the story of a guy waiting in line, and that was me. I was out in San Francisco and looking at my smartphone, looking at places to eat, and just going and finding long lines once I got there. And I said, why can't I look at my phone, know what's going on at that restaurant before I arrive, like I can in some other different industries? And that kind of sparked the idea of starting a real-time app to tell us what's going on at restaurants.
Yeah, you know, there's other products out there. I've used OpenTable to make a reservation here or there. How do you really differ from some of the software products that are on the market?
Yeah, there's kind of two ways. OpenTable really focuses on kind of that high-end, that fine dining restaurant, and really you want to make a reservation, you know, for next week, next month, sometime in the future. But if you want to go to a restaurant which is a casual dining restaurant that won't take your future reservation, you're stuck with the real-time, what's the wait right now. So we're targeting those restaurants which have never had a real solution with something that technology can ease the seating process for those diners.
Got a little video there that kind of shows how this worked. We saw a flash of Permanis, I think it was in Market Square here in Pittsburgh. But the whole idea, this is something you can look at on your smartphone, and the restaurant's got a matching interface, and you're able to communicate and find out what's going on?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So we have kind of two halves of NoWait. There's the restaurant half, which is called NoWait Host. They use that on an iPad at their host stand to manage all the people that walk in, and in fact take their cell phone number so they can actually leave if they walk in and get a text message that shows them their place in line and when it's time to come back. So you know, the walks in has a better experience. And then the comparable is the app that you showed up on the screen that takes our thousands of restaurants across the country and puts them into this casual dining consumer network. So wherever you are, you can pull that up, see what the next available seating time is, and actually put your name onto their list before you arrive.
Okay, so I see I'm not going to be able to get there for 20 minutes, but son of a gun, I can put my name on and say it's a 20-minute wait. Hopefully I'm just going to walk right in with no wait.
You got it. That's exactly our vision.
So it's one thing to have an idea like this. You also have to have some level of skill, I would think, to make it a reality. A little bit about your background and then sort of how you took this from an idea into a real product.
Sure. My background started off in wireless engineering. I moved to Pittsburgh about a decade ago to get a master's degree at Carnegie Mellon in business. And that put me kind of into the entrepreneurial mindset of taking kind of the hard technologies and marrying it with the business solutions.
And so then putting a team together and figuring out
Yeah, so it's really all about the team. I had the original idea and I enlisted a couple friends and team members to work on the technology from the beginning and some designers, and we kind of grew the team slowly and put the product out there and worked with restaurants in the area to fine-tune it and then launched it nationally.
Being here in our region in Pittsburgh helped to do all this, find the right people, figure this out?
Yeah, absolutely. I talk a lot about how I think our success is a lot related to being here in Pittsburgh in two regards. One is kind of the entrepreneurial startup community has been very helpful and supportive in networking and providing financing guidance. That's one thing. But also just the community and people here in Pittsburgh. We've worked with so many great restaurateurs that have let us come into their restaurants and understand their process and test our beta versions and give us this constant feedback before we ever launch nationally. So when we send our product out there to our thousands of restaurants nationally, they say, wow, you know, it's like all you guys work in the restaurant industry. It's because we can test things here with our great partners in Pittsburgh first.
I've heard that before from other companies that touch the consumer market. Pittsburgh is a lot like America, and you get a lot of people willing to help.
It is so true. I mean, you can launch some niche apps maybe in the Bay Area, New York, and get a lot of people to use it in that little microcosm. But NoWait is really for America. It's for middle America. It's for every American from 15 to 85 years old has got to understand and use our service, and testing that kind of in the Pittsburgh area gives us that cross section.
Yeah, so how's it going? What kind of impact? How many people are using it these days?
Well, the adoption rate has been phenomenal. We do over 5 million guests through our system.
5 million, wow.
Every month.
Every month.
5 million a month. Our big news is we just brought in some new great investors out of Columbus, Ohio, called Drive Capital. They've invested $10 million into NoWait because they share our vision of giving people back the most important asset, which is their time. We're going to use that money to go on a hiring spree, more engineers, more customer success and account managers to build out and accelerate adding new restaurants, new consumers to our network.
All right, so you're looking for people. If people want to find you, give you an application.
NoWait.com.
NoWait.com, right? Find out about the product, look for a job, whatever. Well, really exciting, Rob. Congratulations.
Thank you so much,
Great
Bill.
to see it happening here. Yeah. And we'll be back in a minute with a little dollars and cents. Stay with us.